Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave. Today, we're going to be looking at Erling Braut Haaland's move to the Premier League. So excited for Premier League fans. Of course, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. Check out SofaScore in the link in the description below. Anyway, time for the video. But now let's take a look at a superstar in the Bundesliga. We've seen a few superstars move from the German league, the Bundesliga, over to the Premier League recently. Obviously, the likes of Timo Werner, Kai Havertz have been two big examples of recent transfers over. That I think right now you could say a working Timo Werner, slightly still consistent, but Kai Havertz has been fantastic for City. The next star coming from the Bundesliga, not Florian Wirtz, unfortunately, his knee injury is probably going to block that for a few years, but it is Erling Braut Haaland set to move to the Premier League. I think that is super exciting for the Premier League. The Premier League is kind of billing itself as pretty much the European Super League, but in a league form, with the amount of money that's flowing in the league from different ownership and different owners promoting certain things within their takeovers of certain clubs. And I think the big one, obviously, Haaland is absolutely the next superstar that's coming to the Premier League, and it is really exciting. There were rumours that he would be joining Real Madrid or Barcelona. There were ideas that Kylian Mbappe and Haaland would play together at Real. There were also rumours that, Mbappe would go to Real, so Barcelona would want a big dog, and they'd want to sign Haaland so you can have that Messi versus Ronaldo, Mbappe versus Haaland. But Haaland is set to move to the Premier League. Reports coming out of the Mail yesterday that Man City have agreed terms with a £500,000 a week deal to sign Erling Haaland, which will make him the Premier League's highest paid player, with Pep Guardiola's side set to trigger Dortmund their clause of 63 million quid. For me, this is something that I've kind of seen for a while. Obviously, there were a lot of rumours about Haaland sort of being a City fan, being at away days, loads of things going around there. But I think for the Premier League, I think it's exciting. It's another superstar there. It's City finally getting that number 9. The question marks have been, what the City team would be like. Do they need a striker? What they're going to do. And I think when you're looking at City, they're going to pay around 75 million euros. For the release clause. When you take into consideration other players within the market, the likes of Lukaku for £100 million, Vlahovic for €80 million, Havertz for £72 million, and Darwin Núñez reported price tag of €80 million, getting Haaland for €75 million seems like a bit of a bargain. And to have a player of that calibre in the Premier League is going to be fantastic. When you take a look at his performances in the best competition in the world, that is the Champions League. Haaland has already showed his quality. He's the youngest player ever to score 20 Champions League goals. He did that at the age of 20 years and 231 days. He's also the fastest player to hit 20 Champions League goals. Of course, coming in 14 games. So many really good performances. I thought against Sevilla in the knockout stages last season, he was absolutely superb. Unplayable, a little bit more like a target man, a little bit more bringing players into play. And that's where he broke the record as the first player to score at least 2 goals in 4 consecutive Champions League appearances from November 2020 to March 2021, scoring against Club Brugge and, of course, the game against Sevilla as well. The first player to score, or first teenager to score 10 goals in a Champions League campaign, of course, did that in that same year. And the first player to score 25 goals in his first 25 Bundesliga games. This kid is an absolute phenom. He's a robot. He's basically going to break football. His goal-scoring sort of record at the moment, when you look at it graphically, he's on track to be the greatest goal scorer of all time. And that is coming to the Premier League, which is great for Premier League fans. Scary when you're fans of Man United. Scary when you're fans of Liverpool. But watching the best players play week in, week out on Match of the Day is going to be exciting. 21 years old, already scored 131 goals at club level, as well as 15 in 17 for Norway. Haaland has scored on average a goal every 84 minutes for Borussia Dortmund, but is starting to be more creative as well. He's got 7 assists this season in the Bundesliga, which is best ever campaign in terms of that hold-up play. Is going to be kind of exciting. So obviously, that's the good side of it, that he's coming to the Premier League. The bad side of it, of course, is he's joining Manchester City. City are already the best team in the league. or one of the best teams in the league with Liverpool. Signing someone like Haaland is only going to make them better, which is, it is what it is. Everyone's open to their interpretation with that. I think for Man City, it's kind of how they fit him into the team with their players, with their signings, and how that would look in a sense. City, of course, still in the Champions League. They've done really well in recent years in the Champions League without a striker. Playing the likes of Bernardo Silva as a false nine, KDB high, making this box in midfield. But what we've seen City do in recent games to kind of change the effect of games is throwing on Gabby Jesus and changing the attacking structure in a sense of it looking more like a 3-diamond-3. Throwing Jesus as a forward, having KDB playing a little higher as more of an attacking midfielder, having João Cancelo coming inside and creating the diamond, width with 2 wide players, and the back 3 in possession of Kyle Walker, Laporte, Diaz, and Rodri is kind of the base. This is where I see City going. This is the next model of City, 3-diamond-3. I think we'll also see the 4-diamond-4 at times with Haaland as a 9. But Haaland within this seam and setup is absolutely frightening. KDB is more of an attacking midfield position. And for me, you can get some really good joy from him staying high at the pitch. You've also got Bernardo can operate inside and so forth. Having Grealish wide on one side and Sterling or Mahrez might be the one wide right is pretty scary. You think as well with City, in the Champions League, maybe this season in the group stages, they failed to break down PSG and lost 2-0. That's when they didn't have a number 9. They created a lot of chances, but they didn't have a clinical goal scorer. I think as well with Haaland, with what the assists that he's added into his game, 7 in the Bundesliga this season, that allows him to become maybe the player to bounce off with KDB and then going back to the assists. You've also got the likes of Phil Foden, coming into this team, which is pretty crazy. The depth of quality that City will have with Haaland in the team is absolutely bonkers. The one thing that would be maybe a concern is that Haaland's missed 36 games already at club level, 28 for Borussia Dortmund, missing 25% of their matches. Kind of makes the goal scoring record even more exciting, but City have got to fix that. One of the biggest things that City will have to do is building Haaland out as a player that can play week in, week out. The big thing with City's depth as well in midfield and in attack, they can rotate Haaland in and out of the team. They can play 4 box 4 as well as this 3 box 3. That's fine, but getting the consistency of Haaland will be absolutely crazy. The biggest thing is we'll know that he'll excel in the Premier League and could go down as one of the Premier League greats if he stays. As long if he stays in the Premier League for the majority of his career, he will beat Alan Shearer's record. Kane is close to doing that, but needs to really be consistent with his goal scoring. I think it's like 17.8 goals he needs for the next 5 years to beat Shearer. Haaland will obviously start on 0, but when you take into consideration he scored 23 goals in 19 Champions League games and 8 in 6 for Salzburg, goal every 63.6 minutes in Europe's elite competition. He'll probably go over. He'll probably lead City to the Champions League, but also he'll probably lead himself to being the best goal scorer in Premier League history, which is kind of exciting for the Premier League. Not great for any of the teams apart from City's fan base, but another exciting player coming to see that we get to see week in, week out, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're new around here, smash that subscribe button, like the goddamn video, and we will see you next time.